Good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure to call this meeting to order as we begin the 134th school year for the Long Beach Unified School District. Yes. If we could please ask you to put your phones on vibrate, that would be great. Thank you. We'd like to recognize our Board of Education members, Diana Craighead, Megan Kerr, John Meyer, Vice President Dr. Juan Benitez, and before I introduce our board president, could we also have any board members from the Long Beach Education Foundation stand, be recognized? Right. Yes. Our next speaker, Dr. Felton Williams, is serving his 5th term as president of the board. Both Dr. Williams and John Meyer will be retiring in 2020 after more than 16 years on the board. And the last time that Dr. Williams opened this meeting as president was back in 2015. And a lot has happened with Dr. Williams since then, right? Okay, for instance, he received the National Urban Educator of the Year Green Garner Award from the Council of the Great City Schools. And that was for his work at the local and national levels. The council serves 72 of the nation's largest school districts, including ours, about 7 million students. And Dr. Williams also served as chair of that organization. He was selected by the Claremont Graduate University as Alumnus of the Year in 2017, the same year that he won the Goodwill Solak Award for Community Impact. And of course, for years, Dr. Williams has helped us to close achievement gaps, and he's worked very hard, particularly for students of color, to give them greater opportunities to take advanced placement courses and to participate in honors programs. And we've so appreciated his enduring support. Please welcome your Board of Education President, Dr. Felton Williams.
Good morning. I was on automatic pilot this morning. Maybe some of you were the same. I was headed straight to Cabrillo High School. And I got a text from the superintendent reminding me where I needed to be this morning. So, Chris, thank you very much. I want to just take a moment to just thank Diana Craighead for the fantastic job she did as our board president last year. Diana. And thanks to all of you for all the work that you've done day in and day out, working with our students to make this district one of the best urban school districts in America. You know, the study by the American Journal of the Journal of American Medical Association talks about the importance of education, particularly as it pertains to health. Why it's so important for our kids to be educated. And we all know that schooling is critical to every child, and particularly to those young folks who are most vulnerable. We know that education is critically important. And so, as educators, we understand that role, but more importantly, what actions do we take to promote it? And you know, I can think back growing up, teachers who were there to, you know, move me forward, who were there to encourage me, teachers who challenged me, teachers who showed confidence in me. They set high standards. They held me accountable. and more importantly, they showed respect for who I was. And most of all students respond to that. So when we think about all the kids that come to us, there are certain things that I've looked at, I've studied, I've been part of for years, that talk about how all these things come together and work for the good of our kids, and recognizing that all of those kids that come to us really want to learn and are really there for that purpose. And being able to move some of these things together then helps to facilitate the fact that these kids want that, they need that, and surely enough, they deserve that from each and every one of us. And in terms of just wrapping up, because I know Chris doesn't like me to get up and talk for too long, you know, as far as this school district is concerned, and as Chris Hughes said, I had an opportunity for the past 15 years to work with the Council of the Great City Schools. And in that capacity, I've worked with superintendents from all across this country. The one thing that they all say whenever I walk into one of those meetings anywhere is how great Long Beach Unified School District is. They all look to Long Beach Unified School District as a flagship district throughout the nation. So, you know, as you're sitting here in your seats this morning, understand that for all those school districts that are out there, they look to Long Beach Unified School District as a leader, as a flagship institution. So I can't even brag about Long Beach when I sit in those meetings. They don't want to hear it from me. But I do get that vibe every time I walk into one of those meetings. So there are some good things that are going on in this district that we need to recognize and appreciate, particularly how we've really worked to work with all of our students, particularly our students of color. That's an encouraging fact that I recognize as a board member, and all the work that all of you do to keep that happening. So I want to continue to encourage that. I believe in the ability of every student to learn. I believe in equity, and I really push hard for those things as a board member. And my colleagues do as well, and I appreciate working with every single one of them. So in closing, I want to say that we're going to start this year off. All of you come in and do tremendous work. We're going to keep that momentum going. And thank you all very much.
We have another board member from the foundation here, Mr. Walter Larkins. Thank you, Walter, for joining us. And thank you, Dr. Williams, for those inspiring words. Next, we have an 8-minute video that captures some of the essence of why our school district is such a special place. And this video will be made available at lbschools.net later today. Special thanks go to the Office of Multimedia Services and their summer interns, Layla and Alondra, for their hard work on this video. Let's go ahead and take a look.
What does it mean to attend school in the Long Beach Unified School District? What does it mean to work in the Long Beach Unified School District? What is it about this place that is so encouraging and comfortable that many of us never want to leave? The LBUSD is unique in that so many employees are graduates of our schools and proud to be LBUSD.
Hi, I'm Jay Camarino, Assistant Superintendent of High Schools for the Long Beach Unified School District. So in this new position, it's really to make sure that I'm visiting sites, visiting classrooms, supporting the teachers in the classroom, supporting the students in the classroom, and obviously the sites and our administrators who are working hard every day to ensure that our students are getting the best quality education, but also the best quality experience. Long Beach is a big city with a small town feel. It's so diverse. There's so many different things that Long Beach brings and offers. Going to school somewhere different from my own community really kind of lit a light to say, hey, everybody struggles. So I didn't see color. I just saw the fact that students were or people are who they are inside. It was life-changing and life-altering in a great way to move to Long Beach. Athletics was a huge piece in being disciplined and knowing that there's other things that you're responsible for and that team relies on you. So another part of where I think is really my heart is that I'm always part of a team, whether it's my family, whether it's colleagues, or whoever I'm around. I'm responsible to make sure that I do what I'm supposed to do because my team is relying on me. The best thing about going to school at Long Beach Unified is there's so many opportunities, from just the amazing teachers and staff we have at our schools to the Long Beach College Promise. Long Beach Unified was probably like 99% of why I went to college. All the things that we do in Long Beach have a direct connection with Long Beach Unified School District, and I think the community as a whole, Long Beach Unified being at the thrust of all this, really helped me to be where I'm at today.
When I was 11 years old, my family and I packed our bags and said goodbye to our friends and the rest of our family to start a new adventure in this country full of opportunities.
My name is Angel Rodrigo Avelar Menendez. My sophomore year mainly, my counselor decided that 10 students that were sophomores would take AP Physics 1, which is algebra based. It turned out to be a class I really liked. I decided to learn the algebra, and then that just accelerated my math learning process because I ended up liking math a lot more. My counselor has been a lot of help, mainly because whenever I had a problem, I could always go to her. But she also always pushed me to do better. She also always suggested that I take certain classes, so my counselor was definitely a lot of help in pushing myself. At first, I was just in school because my parents wanted me to, but after pushing myself and seeing how fun it can be, I just like the idea of challenging how far I can go.
I would like to thank you, Cabrillo, for taking me in and for making me feel like I belong. Although I have to keep moving forward along with everybody else, I will never forget that this is home. Thank you.
My name's Jose De La Mora, and I'm the Operations Director for Long Beach Unified School District. Some of my daily duties are approving payroll, a lot of delegating. I met with my group just to address some concerns and hear them out and just letting them know that I have an open door policy. It's challenging, but I welcome a challenge. That's my mindset throughout my career. Learn it and try to master it. My teachers back in middle school stand out a lot to me. Encouragement and just trying to guide us in the right direction, whether it was career path or college. Long Beach Unified definitely made a difference in my life by being able to provide just different experiences. When I attended DeMille Middle School, the wood shop, that's one of the classes that jumps to mind when I think back. Just being able to get hands-on experience with the equipment, with the power tools, and being able to create something and making it mine was a great experience. Well, the best thing about attending school in Long Beach was the people, the students. Different ethnicities, you get to meet a lot of people and make new friends. And being an employee now of the district, it's the same thing.
My name is Diamond Boxley, and I'm a senior at Jordan High School. I've been part of the Math Collaborative since my freshman year. I used to go to 123rd Street School over in Watts. Then I went to Jane Addams for elementary. And then after that, I went to Lindsay, finally Jordan, and I'm about to go to UCI in the future. Lindsay was a big influence on where I want to go because I got into the MESA program over there. And I know for sure if I stayed inside of Watts, I wouldn't have been inside the MESA program. They don't have opportunities like that over there. I always knew I wanted to go to college because I wanted to go into STEM. When I heard about the Math Collaborative, I thought it was perfect. It was math focused, right? They have scholarship opportunities and it's a pathway to college. We gotta be ready to invest in our own education. I was part of BEST, which is focusing on business, entrepreneurship, and tourism. It helped me learn how to actually formulate a business plan. People are looking for those opportunities inside of high school, and when they find it, they like to take advantage of it. I'm guessing that the Long Beach School District and people who work for it figure that it's really important to invest in the younger generation, because we're going to be the people who are going to be taking care of things once people of the older generation retire.
Hi, my name is Ruth Ashley, and I'm the Deputy Superintendent of Education Services for the Long Beach Unified School District. While I was a student, those schools, John Muir, Stevens, and Poly, they were truly life landmarks for me. And going to school, everybody trusted each other. It was the neighborhood that took care of us. It was the schools that took care of us. It was the teachers that took care of us, the relationships that we built with those around us, our families, our friends. So that's where the strong sense of kinship came from. What Long Beach Unified School District does for its families, it's that collaboration, that sense of support. It's not just one person. It's not just the teacher. It's not just the principal. It's everyone involved. It really is a community. It's making connections. It's seeing that child through all the way till graduation and beyond. Once I started working in our schools, I've continued to grow. And even now, as I'm sitting in an office over on 1515 Hughes Way, I want to say that I'm still growing. When I think about people who talk to me when they say, you know what, I work from home, I'm able to be comfortable, I can do my work and just feel at home, I can honestly say that I work from home too.
Proud to be LBUSD.
Proud to be LBUSD.
Proud to be LBUSD.
Hashtag proud to be LBUSD.
Well, we're going to launch a huge social media campaign, and so you're going to hear a lot about this, and we are encouraging everyone to use the hashtag ProudToBeLBUSD. So you feel free to tweet, if you tweet, because there's lots to celebrate today. And as you walked in, you heard the celebration by Cole and the gang, because we have a great deal to celebrate. But I do want to take a minute and thank Jay, Ruth, Jose, Angel, and Diamond for being the first in what we're going to call our legacy videos. We're going to be doing these every month of students and employees and those who make Long Beach special. So let's give them a round of applause. So starting this week, those videos are going to be chunked and sent out to thousands of people. And thank you to OMS and to our great interns, as Chris E. shared with you earlier. We now have a YouTube channel, and we're actually live streaming this meeting to thousands of people as we speak. Our first live stream meeting was our first board meeting in July, and starting then, all board meetings and all meetings like my parent forums will be live streamed. So because we want more and more people to be engaged, and as we've always said, we're very transparent. And you heard key words in that video, of those 5 videos. You heard things like relationships, opportunities, family, home. And people ask me all the time, what makes Long Beach Unified so special? And I said, there's no special sauce, it's the people. And as I start my 18th year as superintendent, I tell people, they go, well, do you feel tired? I go, no, I'm not tired. I look old. I don't have as much hair as I did when I was a kid here at Wilson High School. I probably have shrunk a couple inches. But I have to tell you, I'm more excited today for the opportunities of our students. And as you heard Diamond and Angel speak, when I first met Angel, and I shared with him that he was going to Caltech, he said, you know, Mr. Steinhauser, you can share that information on one condition. He goes, you tell everybody that I'm a proud West Sider who can go wherever he wants to go. And if you don't know, one of the most beautiful things about the Long Beach College Promise is that Angel finished all his calculus. There are 3 levels of college calculus that he had to take before he started Caltech. And he told me, you know, Mr. Steinhauser, this was the first semester. He goes, I finished Calc 1 and Calc 2 at City College. I'm taking a rest because my brain's tired right now, but I'm going to finish Calc 3 next semester. That's amazing. Think about this, a young person who comes here at 11 years old, the opportunities that he was able to achieve. And Diamond, who came to us from another school district, who said that if he had stayed in that other place, he would not have had those opportunities. So I want you to think about that as we talk today and we talk throughout the school year. We have wonderful opportunities for young people, but we have to make sure that all of our kids have these opportunities. So we're going to show you a video. You have these slides also in your packet, and we'll go over them in a minute. But if we could roll what we call the data video right now. Thank you. As you can see from the video, we have a lot to say. I've watched it a couple times myself. So we're going to go, if you look in your packet, you have some slides, and so we're going to go to the first slide. If we can bring that up on the screen. On the data slides, you can see here, and we've broken them into smaller chunks so you can read them. So as you well know, we have an LCAP Go that says we want to make 3% gain in language arts and math. And these schools here made a 5% gain, which means it was a greater gain than we expected. And then the cohort gain is really, really important. That means that if I was in 3rd grade and I took my test in 4th grade, those kids grew, which is really, really important. Now, I know you're all interested in this because if you follow me on Twitter, you saw that we're going to give out close to $1 million in this meeting today. That's a lot more than we gave out last year. And so, which means, if you're going to use your math skills, if you were 5% and you're on that list, so let's say I'm going to pick on Kettering. So Kettering's going to give $5,000 for that achievement. And let's see, is Kettering on the 5% cohort gain? Yes or no? Yes. So they got another $5,000. So we'll go to the next slide here. So then you saw, remember, I always give you a challenge to close the achievement gap by at least 50%. And guess what? I asked you to double it last year, and you doubled it this year between language arts and mathematics. So give yourselves a round of applause. 14 schools closed the achievement gap. So Kettering is again over here, but if you're on that list, on closing the gap, which is really, really important, you're gonna get $10,000. All right. High growth, you're gonna get $5,000. So is Kettering on that list? Nope. Sorry, Kettering. Don't feel sorry for Kettering. You'll find out in a minute why. This is really, really important because, as you saw, Long Beach Unified is the large urban district in the state that is beating everybody and making high, consistent gains. Most districts are improving, but Long Beach is improving much faster and at much higher rates than other people. You need to be very proud of that. So here are schools that made 3 or 4 year gains. This is really important. And what I'm so proud, because you know we're all working on equity and closing the opportunity gaps and the achievement gaps. When you look at the schools with the asterisk, these are our high poverty schools. You can see that those numbers are almost evenly divided with achievement throughout the district, which means that Long Beach believes in equity and is serving all students. So these schools also get $5,000. Is Kettering on that list? Yeah, so Kettering, another $5,000. So now we're gonna go into math. Math, you guys hit it out of the ballpark in math this year. Math, and you're gonna see in a minute, I'm gonna talk about it. Look at all these schools and all the gains that they made. All those schools get $5,000 for their 5% gain. The cohort gains, which is really, really hard, especially in mathematics as you learn new skills, unless you love math like Angel. Here, last year, we only had 1 school on the closing the gap. This year, you have 7. Give yourselves a round of applause. And our great partner, Kettering, showed up again. Look at that. High growth. This is really important because on the high growth ones, it means that your students made greater growth than is expected. And you can see Newcomb, 10 times the growth. That's amazing. That's because of the hard work that we do in preschool all the way up into high school. And let's look at the continuous 3 years gain. Look at that. Again, many, many schools in high poverty making consistent gains. It's really hard to make consistent gains, folks. So let's give all your schools a round of applause. I have to tell you, when I heard this data, where's Dr. Kale? Dr. Kale, raise her hand. Poor Dr. Kale. Let's give her a round of applause for taking over research. I said, Dr. Kale, I want to see this data. And then she'd come back and say, oh, wait a minute. And we go back and forth because I go, this is really huge. We set a goal years ago to have 60% of our kids meet UC and CSU requirements. And remember, Long Beach Unified has 70% of our kids are in poverty. 1/3 of our kids are on welfare. 20% of our kids speak another language other than English. And we have 5,000 homeless kids. All the problems of urban America. But look at this. This year, we predict we will hit at least 60% as a system of our kids qualifying to go to a UC or a CSU. And you know what's really, this is great, and we're gonna raise the target, guys, because now we hit the goal. It's like if you lose 5 pounds in a diet, then you go to 10. But what's even more important than that, the Board of Education, if you recall, raised the math requirements for students in our district 5 years ago. And I just found out, and board, I haven't shared this with you, that Long Beach Unified has the toughest math requirement in the state of California. We are the district that requires kids to take 4 years of mathematics. So as people say, if you raise the bar, they won't hit it, it's not true. If you raise the bar and provide supports, they will. And which is really important because around 2013-14 is when we changed that and we phased it in, if you remember. So right now, our students have to have 4 years of math. We're not saying they have to all take calculus, but 4 years of math, and look what they did. They consistently went up. Let's give yourselves a round of applause. This is good, but this is even better. So these schools hit it out of a ballpark and went And you can see I picked schools that had 70% or higher, and we had schools that had 60% who met the target. So look at Wilson, Milliken, McBride, Sato, and Cairns. All had 70% as a school of hitting their targets as a school. What's even more important than that, Cam, Sato, McBride, Wilson, and Polly all had every significant subgroup hit 60% or higher on A through G. So for example, here at Wilson, every single group, African Americans, Cambodians, Hispanics, Caucasians, all hit 60%. In fact, the Cambodians here at Wilson were at 80% and the Caucasians were at 80%. So we have many things to celebrate, so let's give everybody a round of applause. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, the money. So we're going to pass out some charts. Everybody wants to know. This is all color-coded. It looks nice and pretty. So elementary's in blue. K-8 and middle schools are in orange. High school's in black. And the grand total that we're going to give out today is $958,000. Over 50 schools are getting money, and I'm going to put my glasses on for a minute because I'm going to call out 2 schools. So Juan, I know Juan was sitting over here, I think. Juan, where's Juan at? Juan Gutierrez. Where's Juan? Stand up, Juan. Juan's no longer at Kettering. He's been transferred to Edison, but Kettering's getting $55,000. Mona is no longer at Oropeza. Mona, stand up. Your school is getting $40,000. And Mona, continue to stand for a minute. Juan, stand back up. I know I'm embarrassing you, but stand back up, Juan. I can see you now, so stand back up. What these 2 schools also did was that they closed the achievement gap by more than 50%, both in language arts and mathematics, and look at these schools on opposite sides of the city. Congratulations. I do want to call 2 groups to the stage for a minute. Last year, we recognized Fiscal Services and the SPED department for the great work that they do in collaboration in serving our young people. So I wanted to recognize 2 departments today because as educators, it takes the entire village to do what we need to do and thousands of people behind the scenes. So we had many, many projects and we could recognize many, many departments. But I want to point out 2. One is our facilities department. We have one of the biggest bond programs going on with billions of dollars being put in our community. This auditorium is one example of it. We have over 13,000 students are going to experience air conditioning for the first time. Their teachers, their parents will all be happy. It doesn't take, it's a lot of work, guys, to try to have this all work. So I would like Alan to come up here, please. Alan, would you please come up here? And then the other one, as Alan's coming up here, I'd like Matt from Tisby to come up here. Because, where's Matt at? Come on down, Matt. For those of you who know, we have 85,000 Chromebooks. We refreshed 32,000 Chromebooks. And Tisby hired 4 interns, and those interns were great, which means that our youngsters, as they come back to school, will have new Chromebooks that they are going to have. They started this work in April, and it's a lot of work to move 32,000 out and to bring 32,000 in. So we want to reward both these departments with checks for $5,000 each. So there's yours, sir. And this is yours. You may want to talk to Renee and to Dr. Brown of how they use that money, because this is what I call free money. Free money can be used for a lot of things except for trips to Hawaii and that kind of thing. But it is to be used to celebrate your colleagues in your departments, and we can't thank all of them enough for what they've done to help our youngsters. So thank you. Told you today's gonna be about celebrations. Okay, when we show this video, please. Who knows who this is? Scrooge McDuck, exactly. I've been called a lot of things in life. I've been called Robin Hood, I've been called the Grinch, I've been called Scrooge McDuck, who I actually love because I'm a big cartoon fan. I've been told my wallet squeaks when it comes to district fiscal season, which is all true. But you have many advocates out there, and your fiscal departments told me, they said, hey, Chris, it would be really nice if you allowed the schools to have 100% of their carryover. So guess what? You're getting 100% of your carryover. And even more than that, you're going to get 100% of your carry forward going forward. So congratulations. Now, having said that, Scrooge McSteinhauser is going to say, the money is for our children. So please spend the money. Now, Scrooge McSteinhauser is also going to say, please have a nice reserve, okay? But don't, Kettering, you got $55,000. You can spend 48 of it, okay? So please, please, please. So we'll go to the next one. So now I'm going to leave you with some challenges and some opportunities. Every year I ask you to continue to close the achievement and opportunity gaps, and that's what I want you to do. We had 14 schools who did that this year. I want it to be 28 next year because we can do it. You can do anything you achieve and anything you set your mind to. The next one I'm going to ask you to do is to, again, focus on that equity issue. Equity comes in many, many, many forms. It's not just academic equity. It's all kinds of things. So remember to do that. The other one is, as you look at these youngsters, this actually is going to be on the cover of Linda Darling Hammond's study on the positive outliers, which studied Long Beach and they asked, and thank you, Dr. Baker and Chris E., we sent them 2 pictures, and they're going to use both our pictures. This is going to be in the cover that's going to go throughout the nation, talking about districts like Long Beach who are beating the odds and doing what they need to do for the young people. And this is actually Millikan High School graduation this last year. So I'm also going to ask you, and many of you do this on a regular basis, I'm going to ask that you bring in that student voice on a regular basis. If folks like Dr. Baker, who went out and shadowed kids this year, and exec staff who did empathy interviews, if they can do it, all of us can do it, and that's everybody. But just don't do it one time. Do it on a regular basis, whether it's a group of kids you're meeting at lunchtime or whatever. When I meet with my student advisors, they tell us everything, and I love it because they tell us things that we don't even want to hear. And sometimes those are the most important, to be very, very honest with you. And then the last one I want to share with you for my homework assignment is I want all of you to have self-care. I struggled with the announcements as a parent when they said, put your oxygen masks on first and then your kids, because as a parent, you want your kids to be safe. But your kids can't be safe if you're not there. Your students and staff can't be safe and do the job that they need to do if you're not there. Self-care comes in many different things. For people like me, it could be watching cartoons. For other people, it could be yoga. It could be running. It could be whatever you choose it to be. But make sure you have self-care and make sure that those you supervise have self-care. Because as educators, we're continuing to give out our bucket. But our bucket eventually will be empty if we don't have self-care. Okay? So that's your homework assignment. Now, we also have another one. People ask me, do I get a shirt like this? And yes, you do. Everyone gets a shirt like this. So when you leave today, and this is really, really important. Folks, we really need to let sure when we exit today that those who rode the bus, which are the majority of you, you exit here to get your checks, and you're going to get these 2 books because one is on innovation. We want you to be innovators. We want you to be risk takers. That's how we do great things. And the next one is a book it's called Give and Take. It's about relationships. Because you heard throughout the meeting today, it's about relationships and about people working together. So there's books for everybody, there are t-shirts for everybody, there's 55 checks out there for those who are receiving checks. And if we don't have your right size, we will order you a shirt, so don't worry, there is an opportunity to do that. But on behalf of the board, on behalf of the executive staff, and most importantly, on behalf of our students, I do want to say thank you for what you do for our kids each and every day. You know, people ask me, where would you want to be as a superintendent other places? There's no other place, because this is, in my opinion, the best. You are beating the odds. When I shared you about the AP data and about the A3G data, there's a district across the 605. Their high school has 17% poverty, and they're at 76% ADG. Those high schools that I showed you up on that slide, not a single one of those high schools has a poverty rate below 50%. Where's the equity? It's right here in Long Beach Unified. So congratulations and have a great year. Mrs. Ashley is going to come up here and share with you and the exec staff a few things.
Not to worry, I wasn't about to get up here and dance on stage by myself, but I can now check that off my bucket list, and you all know my jam. Happy new school year to all of you, and happy new fiscal year to our business folks out there. It's always an honor to be with you, to celebrate you, and to kick off another fine school year as we head towards 2020. And it's also time to say thank you for all that you do for our schools and to make sure our students and our staff are in good care. Before we congratulate our new managers, let's take this opportunity to reminisce of days gone by. These were the days that continue to inspire our own work in service to children. Because of time, we won't be able to hear from our executive staff right now, but that will come a little bit later. However, I want to introduce to you my colleagues, to those of you who are new in the group, and welcome 2 new cabinet members. The slide you see behind me represents a yearbook. Our friends at OMS helped me dig up these old pictures that many of you may remember from a few years back. And I want to make it very clear that I had permission to show each photo that you're about to see. And I also want to thank my colleagues for letting themselves be seen, for allowing others to get a sense of how we were in our youth, and that there's absolutely no shame in how we looked in the 70s and 80s. The first page of our yearbook features the courageous Chris Steinhauser, a proud Bruin of Wilson High, followed up by our personable Pamela Secchi, Assistant Superintendent of OCIPD, and our very caring Christopher Lund, Assistant Superintendent, MSK8 Schools. And as we turn the page, we see our genuine Jill Baker, Deputy Superintendent of Schools, followed up by jovial Jay Camerino, Assistant Superintendent of High Schools, and our very own top of the line, Tiffany Brown. I'm sorry, Jay, but this joke just does not get old. Next up, we'll see our Assistant Superintendent of Elementary Schools, the brave Brian Moskovitz. In the middle, we have our youthful Yumi Takahashi, Chief Business and Financial Officer. And not new to the team, but new to the yearbook, our very kind Ken Kato, Executive Officer, Personnel Commission and Classified Employment. And all of you remember me and my cheesy flower. You know, we've been sharing a lot about our stories, our leadership journeys, a lot about ourselves. And Jay actually inspired me to share this snippet of my story when I was young. It was a moment of inspiration as a child growing up within a large family on the West Side during the 60s and 70s. And this photo was actually part of a set, you know, where you bring your own clothes and you change your outfits. So this is me in a dumb orange turtleneck. But it was a time in my life when I had made an important decision. You see, I came from a devout Catholic family. And just prior to this photograph being taken, I was confirmed and received the Holy Spirit that strengthened my faith. And in preparation for this holy sacrament, I had to choose a name for myself. I had to choose a name of a saint I admired and one that I looked up to as a role model. So, true story, I chose the name Annette after Saint Annette Funicello. I admit it was always about the eyebrows and not about the hairdo. But let's move on and introduce one of our district leaders, our dynamic David Zaid, Assistant Superintendent of Human Resource Services. David is a proud graduate of Long Beach Poly, home of scholars and champions. And thinkers too. And then he went on to graduate from Long Beach State. And most of you recognize David from this photo that's up on our website, where David helped 40 Jordan high school students dress for success. Each young man received a new suit as part of the school's Math Collaborative program. Well done, David. Little did we know that David was dressing for success since he was a toddler. And now I'd like to introduce our very own keen and kinetic Christy Kale, Assistant Superintendent of Research and School Improvement. As you can see, Christy is a proud product of both the 80s and LBUSD, graduating from Millikan High. Those of you who know Christy know that she's not shy. She embraces her own vulnerability and has a flair for entertainment. Therefore, Christy, you get the award for Best High School Yearbook Picture Ever. It reads, "Get tough. Junior Christy Kale gets into her halftime routine to the rhythm of Beat It" at the home game against Wilson. I don't know about you, but I will forever have a new visual in my mind whenever I hear this song, Christy. And as I've said before, you only tease the ones you love, and I hope you all know that I have a whole lot of love for you. So thank you to all, and let's bring up our new classified managers introduced by the youthful Yumi Takahashi. So we will do this in an orderly manner. If your name is on the first page of the segment within your packet, for classified promotions and new hires, will you please come up on stage, and we'll be sure to recognize you with a wave of a hand. Don't be shy, come on up.
Whew, this is a long list. So I'm happy to call up Yvette Brotherton, Elementary School Office Supervisor, MacArthur. Thea Gwynn, Middle School Office Supervisor, Franklin. Carla Gerard, Middle School Office Supervisor, Muir. Mariana Puentes Flores, Physician Services Technician, Human Resources Services. Jesus Rios, Employment Services Supervisor, Personnel Commission. Cindy Ruiz, Administrative Secretary, Multimedia Services. Marivic Hokinson, Administrative Secretary, Student Support Services. Mindy Ritter, Administrative Secretary, Student Support Services. Karen DeRusso, Administrative Secretary, Information Services. Pamela Brackman, Senior Administrative Secretary, Personnel Commission. Oscar Ochoa, Grounds Crew Supervisor, Operations Branch. Lamont Heads, Custodial Crew Supervisor, Operations Branch. Jonathan Mendoza, Custodial Services Inspector, Operations Branch. Otis Quincy Wilbert, Custodial Services Inspector, Operations Branch. Francisco Guzman, School Safety Supervisor, School Safety and Emergency Preparedness. Kelly Iwane, Child Nutrition Specialist, Nutrition Services Branch. I'm only halfway done, guys. Mariana Grosvenor, Associate Research Data Analyst, Research Planning and Evaluation. Greg Robinson, Associate Personnel Analyst, Personnel Commission. Juan Duong, Fiscal Services Analyst, Fiscal Services. Christine Pratt, Fiscal Services Analyst, Fiscal Services. David Pittman, Area Custodial Manager, Operations Branch. Fran Wilbert, Area Custodial Manager, Operations Branch. Mike Looper, Maintenance Manager, Maintenance Branch. Kurt Atkins, Nutrition Services Manager, Nutrition Services Branch. John Meehan, Nutrition Services Manager, Nutrition Services Branch. Mario Kaufman, Technology Field Operations Supervisor, Information Services. Ferdoz Fazeli, Facilities Project Manager, Facilities Branch. Zach Ige, Assistant Director, Fiscal Services. Dave Van West, Assistant Director, Maintenance Branch. Deborah Ferdman, General Counsel, Special Education, Office of Student Support Services. Mark Chavez, Director, Nutrition Services Branch. Jose de la Mora, Director, Operations Branch. Steve Bowie, Transportation Director, Maintenance Branch. And Alan Rising, Business Services Administrator, Business Services. Thank you, and congratulations to everybody.
All right, if you're a newly promoted elementary assistant principal or principal, come on up. We are waiting for you. Thank you, Ruth, for showing those pictures. It's always nice to remember that I had hair at one time, and the hair's just kind of moved down onto my chin instead of the top of my head. It's nice to be with all of you. It's always awesome to be here at kickoff. We spent a lot of time last week with principals and assistant principals, but it's nice to be back with all of the managers today. So it's my great pleasure to be able to introduce some awesome administrators. I'll start off with three folks who were just amazing teachers on special assignment the last few years, and we were able to give them that promotion to the assistant principalship, and I know they'll do great work for their schools. So let's hear it for Nicole Kelly at Adams, Tracy Hall at Dooley, and Ann at Roosevelt. So these next five names I'm going to call, I say this to people at this time every year. If you see their extension show up on your phone, or if they call you from your cell phone a text, please answer it right away. As a new principal, they have a million questions, and they try to spread those questions around so that nobody thinks they have a lot of needs. They just kind of think you think they just have a little bit of needs, but really they're calling 20 of you. So please pick up the phone. And so those are Cheryl Huber at Alvarado. Brenda Ocampo at Chavez. Rachel Peters at Kettering. No longer at this school, Nancy Dalton at Stevenson. And last but not least, Dr. Patrick Booker at Twain. Let's hear it for elementary schools, yeah!
All right, good morning. If you are a newly promoted MSK 8 assistant principal or principal, please come on up. All right, and calling attention to our packet here, I want to call out there are some typos here, so I'm going to correct that in our presentation here. All right, so we have 3 new assistant principals to the MSK level, and 4 new principals to the MSK level. So our 3 new assistant principals first, starting off with Patrice Rice, new assistant principal at Jefferson. And Tori Baker, new assistant principal at Lindbergh. And Brooke Hogan, the new assistant principal at Lindsay. And then our 4 new principals at the MSK level, Jorge Montañez, the new principal at Hamilton. Kathleen Reed, the new principal at Nelson. Alma Black, the new principal at Tincture K-8. And Rashawn Williams, the new principal at Washington. What an amazing group. Thank you so much. It's going to be an awesome year.
All right, high school team, let's come on up, represent. Here we go. Let's give them a round of applause as they come up here to our high school team. Likewise, Ruth, thank you for putting Mario up there. Much better looking person than me anytime, any day, so you can use that reference anytime. I don't see it, but that's perfect. That's great. I'm sure Ceci does. Anyway, here we go. Thank you all. Coming to Cabrillo's activity special, we have Connie Graneri. Connie, welcome. Also a new activity specialist at Jordan is Michelle Green. Welcome. All right, new head counselor at Browning is Guadalupe Saldaña. Head counselor at CAMS, Kim Johnson Agulto. Head counselor at Sato is Gerard Maliwat. New assistant principal to Lakewood, Maruna Lascar. Assistant principal at Milliken, Aaron Filer. Assistant principal at Milliken, Macy Jelinowicz. Assistant principal to Milliken, Daniel Yu. Assistant principal here at Wilson, Edward Steinhauser. Assistant principal at Wilson, Lloyd Wilson. Our new promoted vice principals are Tamika Roman at Lakewood. Keisha Irving Holder at Milliken. Matt Brown at Poly High School. And Renee Shipman, Wilson High School. Congratulations, give them another round of applause. Thank you.
Good morning and Happy New Year, LBUSD. It's good to see all of you out there. I am going to introduce our non-level, mostly central office folks, so if you are a non-level promotee, come on up. This group spans preschool all the way through assistant soup. Great, so first let me introduce Lindsay Evans, program coordinator at CDC. Lindsay. Coming into central office from Cabrillo High School, Chris Itzen, AA to the Deputy Superintendent. Ed Garcia, who moved from principal in elementary to program administrator, Head Start, serving our young students. Kateria Hernandez, a familiar face to you, program administrator, HRS. Liseth Ramos, promoted to vice principal, Measure E, and elementary office. Our new director of community partnerships, Dr. Lucy Salazar. New director of employee relations and ethics, Steve Rockenbach. and 2 newest assistant superintendents, Dr. Christy Kale, Research Planning and School Improvement, and David Zaid, Assistant Superintendent of Human Resource Services. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you all.
Congratulations again, everyone. I'll bless you all with my flower. Let's bring up Carrie, our president of Album. Come on up, Carrie.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Carrie Nemec, and I'm starting my 3rd year as president of Album. I'd like to let you know a little bit, I'd like to let you know a little bit about what we do. We're part of a charter of the Association of California School Administrators, ACSA, and we stay active in their meetings and conferences, so this allows us to be aware of and act on the most crucial issues affecting our district, especially at state and legislative action issues. So we had a conference here in Long Beach on the Queen Mary last school year, and people came from all over, and they really, really loved the Long Beach way of doing things. So Dr. Felton Williams was correct about that. We also annually sponsor a district manager to participate in Leadership Long Beach, and we have an active alumnus in Leadership Long Beach representing Album. Our president is included in meetings with TALB and CSCA in which the district is seeking input or presenting information that will affect all employees. This year, we were invited to participate in the Budget Audit Committee and participated in the new training that we'll receive today that all staff will be trained upon. We were included in discussions around the new pay period calendar, and we talked with Mr. Zaid about the reasons for and positive aspects of changing health insurance. We also had your back on comp days, and the district executive staff fully supported our efforts. Thank you. We contribute to the classified picnic every year as we honor their hard work and dedication to our students. We purchase your business partnership plaques every year. We purchase gift cards for you to enjoy if your ticket's called on days like today. And we sometimes even pay for your lunch at principals meetings. We also recognize any Album member who plans to retire at our end of the year party, which, by the way, is way more fun now. Moreover, school board candidates call us to share about themselves, seeking Album support in their election campaigns. Please know that if you have any questions about any district action or policy, we'll be happy to share those questions with our superintendent or the appropriate deputy or assistant sup. We are a safe space for you. We are your voice. So we're proud of the work we've done. And at this time, I would like the Album board to please stand up. Album board members. Oh, look, they're all together over there. Please give them a round of applause. Thank you so much to the board for all of your support. Now, if you are an actual Album member, we would like you to reveal yourselves. So if you're an Album member, can you please stand up? You paying dues for Album? Okay, take a look around. If you just one of the 25 people that signed up today, you're in. Stand up. Stand up. Okay, now don't sit down. Hang on. Look around you. Is there someone next to you who's not standing up? Okay, shake their hand. Hold their hand. Good. Don't let go of their hand. Take them out front where we have the sign-ups. No, I'm just kidding. Sit down, sit down. No pressure, no pressure. Lastly, I just want to say, may the positive energy that you have and the light, your natural light, shine so that you are able to inspire all that you work with this year. Let's make it a great year. Thank you.
Next we have Michelle for CASA. Michelle.
Hello, everybody. My name is Michelle Francis, and I'm the School Support Secretary at Cabrillo High School. Go Jags! I want to thank you for allowing me this opportunity, Chris, to speak on behalf of CASA and to spotlight the wonderful things that we do. Last week, we had a fabulous summer institute that we attended, the supervisors and the plant supervisors. It was wonderful. I want to give a round of applause to everybody that was a part of that. It was awesome. It was really, really awesome. I want to thank you, principals, for allowing your secretaries the opportunity to attend our morning monthly meetings. It's an opportunity to build relationships. It's a time where we discuss best practices and share what we do so that we can become more efficient and not recreating the wheel. We take those skills that we learned from collaborating with one another back to our sites, and we have a network in which we can call upon, as they were saying, the new principals, when you see somebody calling, you pick up the phone because you know they have a quick question. We're really into relationship building, and again, thank you, principals, for allowing your secretaries their time, the release time, to come and be a part of it. Let's give a round of applause to the principals. I'd like to also say thank you to Chris and the executive team, because we meet with them on a quarterly basis, and they come to us with opportunities to present things before we present it to the whole, I guess, the general population. They brought to us the new payroll system, and we helped them to kind of work it through, and then we became the calm voice, and we were able to answer questions for our peers, to those that had concerns and everything. They also helped us with this recent child abuse training system that we had. By using CASA first, we were able to provide guidance and calmness to all the sites, and we helped with the transition and be a positive influence in accomplishing the goals. We do like that we are included in many things that the executive board is doing in Long Beach Unified as a whole, and we want to continue that relationship building that we have this opportunity. So it's a once-a-month meeting, and we invite all of you secretaries that haven't come. If you haven't joined, there's still a time. Come see Anna, and we will be able to sign you up and get you in there. There is our meeting schedule inside of our packet that we've given. And again, just join us and make this year a wonderful school year. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michelle. And next, I'd like to bring up Walter Larkin, president of the Long Beach Education Foundation.
Thanks, Chris. All right. Correction, I'm not yet the president. I'm merely a president-elect, so let's get that perfectly straight. So my name is Walter Larkin. Some of you know who I am. And I'm with the Long Beach Education Foundation. I've been with the foundation for about almost 4 years, I guess. It's hard to believe. And I have to say, in front of all of you, I am so, seeing all the statistics about what you've accomplished, I'm so impressed and just proud to be standing up here with you. So I'd like to give you my own hand for a great job. So the philosophy of the Long Beach Education Foundation is to receive funds for support some of the programs that you're really aware of. And our goal is to really provide those funds to support you, the principals, and of course, the bottom line, the students. I'm a business person, so I always like to talk about the bottom line. So the foundation reaches out to hundreds of nonprofits in the community and other business partnerships, and that's how I became involved initially with Long Beach Unified School District as a business partner. And we rely on those organizations not only for financial support, but also for resources. And some of you, I'm sure, have benefited from those resources. Sometimes I feel the Long Beach Education Foundation is like the best kept secret, but it's amazing the contributions that they've made and the impact they've had on the community, not just in Long Beach Unified, but outside Long Beach Unified. So this year, 1920, the Long Beach Education Foundation will focus on fundraising for district-wide support for impoverished and homeless students, embracing every population of students that would benefit from enrichment activities. So, although Judy is retiring this year, which was very dramatic for me to hear, frankly, she's left the foundation in a great financial footing, and our executive director, Lucy Salazar, will have a great platform that she can start in on. So I'm very happy about that as well. So what started 16 years ago with barely $11,000 and 2 small scholarship endowments has increased to $8 million. And that's an incredible number. As a business person, that's like 72,000% increase. And that's like 45,000% increase per year. And that, anyone who achieved those kind of results would, just be having an amazing performance. So by any measure, Judy has done a fantastic job. This is her last management meeting that she will be attending. And I know she's going to kill me for going off script. Sorry, Judy. But I'd like to give Judy Seal a big round of applause for her dedicated service and support for the schools. So my second goal here, which Judy told me about, was Ruth. I have to basically make sure I address the Harmony Project, which I will, and I know I've got short on time. But we're starting a 5th year of the Long Beach Harmony Project. Some of you have heard about it, I'm sure. And it continues to exceed all expectations in overall student performance, parental engagement, and community support, including Long Beach Police Chief Luna at the Long Beach Unified School District, and of course, Long Beach Education Foundation's shown tremendous support. During the 2018 fundraiser, the audience learned how to play percussion instruments. I'm a horrible musician, but that was kind of interesting. And then Chief Luna and the fire chief, Chief Spano, played these West African drums. So for those who haven't gone, it is an incredible experience seeing these young people play these instruments for the very first time. It was great fun, and it was a fantastically successful fundraiser. So Jim Petrie, who you all know, has done a fantastic job running and managing that program, and he's going to be teaching everyone that shows up at the next one another instrument, which I don't know what that's going to be. So dates to remember. So please refer to your information packet on December 11th, 2019. There'll be a Long Beach Harmony Project Gala. You're all, of course, welcome to attend, and seeing those little kids play those instruments is very inspiring. And also, the most inspiring student dinner will be on Thursday, May 28, 2020. So that's also in your packet. On behalf of the Long Beach Education Foundation, we are grateful for the trust that you put in us. Congratulations to everyone here. Have a wonderful school year. The foundation looks forward to working with you now and into the future. So before I stop, are there other board members of the foundation here? I'd like them to stand if there are. If not, I'm only one here. I guess I'm it. Well, thank you very much for your time, and congratulations to Long Beach Unified School District.
Thank you, Walter. Before we go on to the very last pieces of the meeting, I'd like Letitia and Lori to come up here for a minute. Come up here. They don't give me too many people to supervise. So. I'm really blessed to have so many good people in my life. And these two fine people keep the calm. It's not always easy working with me, I'll be honest with you. I'm stubborn, a lot of other things. But these two people make it all happen on a daily basis. And they do it with grace and with dignity, always with a happy smile, and always calm. And you can imagine the calls sometimes that they get from not so happy people. But I have to tell you, for a gentleman who, I talked to this gentleman just the other day, and this is a true story, I haven't shared it with him. He goes, you know, Mr. Steinhauser, you have to tell those in your office, thank you. Because when I called, I wasn't the nicest person. But they remained calm. They said, yes, we understand your issue. Someone will get back to you, we promise you. It may not be today, it may be tomorrow, but we promise you your need is important and you will be heard. And that went a mile. And so I just want to recognize them because you have thousands of people out there doing the same thing. So thank you so much. So now you get to do that. So before we go to the other part that you won, the prizes, and there's some really nice prizes. Thank you for those who have been tweeting out about the different things, because I just opened my Twitter and saw that you've been doing that. excellent job. And I'm going to, when it comes to technology, I'm like a minus 29 on a scale. But I am going to take a selfie here. So everyone smile. I'll take a couple because there's so many people. So we'll go here. And we'll go over here. And then we'll see when he can tweet it out. We'll see. So reminder about your homework. Continue to close those achievement gaps and opportunity gaps. Continue to work on equity. We want you to innovate. We want you to have relationships. And as important as all those other things, what's last? Self-care. If you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of all those others. So we have lots of great prizes. So if you could take out your tickets. And just a reminder before we do close, remember your checks are out here, your shirts are out there. Dr. Brown and Dr. Kale, would you please stand for a moment? Yeah. You folks, let's give them a round of applause. They designed the shirts. Thank you to the CAC parent member who designed our logo. This came under that line, other duties as assigned. And so if you don't have a ticket, raise your hand and we'll make sure you get one. Really, I see some people in the very back there that don't have a ticket. Again, you're going to have a great meeting over at Browning. So we want to make sure that folks, there's some tickets back here, Lloyd, in the very back over there that for people have. I'll take those other tickets that you have. One other announcement I do want to make. Thanks to the Board of Education, many of our schools are what we would call green schools. And we have about maybe 40% of our schools actively focusing on recycling and other pieces. Our goal this year is that every single one of our schools becomes a green school. So there have been resources set aside for the additional Rec Aid support. You're going to hear more about that later. And even more importantly than that, our green leaders in our district, and you'll hear they're going to present at the board workshop, but they're also going to be presenting later. They have identified several different items that schools need to become green. So for example, recycling bins, special carts for your custodians and others. The district, again, thanks to the board, has set aside resources for those one-time purchases. So when that memo and that email comes through, please don't set it aside. Really want to focus on that because it's really important that we as a community, we as the largest employer in the city of Long Beach, and we as the big boy in the group, lead with everything we're doing. And as you well know, we have 21 solar projects going on this year with additional ones that we've already done. So my challenge to you as the 5th homework assignment is if you're not a green school today, you want to become a green school tomorrow, okay? So there's lots of resources there to support you, and you'll hear more about that as we go. So the first one, we have 4 Target gift cards, and these are from Album, so thank you so much, Album. As always, I'll read the last 3 digits, 433, 433. Please stand up so we can see you. I see the person over there. Good job. 295, 295. Please stand up if it's you. All right, Kim, I see Kim standing. The next we have is 361, 361. Okay, right over there. And next we have 194, 194. Is 194 in the house? Good job. Next we have 2 tote bags that each have a $25 Amazon gift card. Pretty cool. Next is 296, 296. All right, good job. Next we have, oh, very close, 293, 293. All right, good job. Next we have 2 complimentary lunches for 2 from Apple Spice Junction. They're actually a very good group that support us. Next we have 344, 344. Do I see anybody? All right, back there. And next we have 027, 027. Good job. Next we have, this is really important, especially for individuals like me. We have 4 Superior B car wash certificates, which I'm assuming Superior B is a good car wash. So the 297, 297. All right, over here we have 447, 447. Okay. 455, 455. Back there. And next we have 186, 186. All right, Cheryl. Next we have a $75 gift card to Gladstone's down in the town. Oh, people like Gladstone's. 152, 152, who's going there? All right. Next we have a $25 gift card to Haas Hut. 289, 289. Okay, Christy. Next, we have a $25 gift card to Legends for your favorite football game. So 278, 278. Okay. Next, we have a one-night weekend stay and breakfast for 2 at the Long Beach Marriott. You may want to wait and take this in November when you get to the November dip. So 474, 474. Who's going? All right, good job. Next, we have 2 tickets for a Long Beach Playhouse show. They do a great job. 453, 453. Okay, right back here. Next, we have 6 25 Amazon gift cards from our friends at Long Beach Schools Financial Credit Union. They do take good care of our money. So 258, 258, please stand. Yes, sir. All right, good job. 300, 300. Do I see 300? 130, 130. Two, 4, 244. Okay, good job. Next we have 169, 169. Okay, right back here. Is that all 6? Lori, is it one more? Okay. 097, 097. 097. Okay, right back there. Excellent. Next, we have a $25 gift card to Parker's Lighthouse. 006. 006. Okay, right back here. Next, we have a Sunday brunch for 2 on the Queen Mary. You may also want to save this for the November dip. 167, 167. Who's going to the Queen Mary? 167. Good job. Next, we have 2 Starbucks gift bags. Each have a $25 gift card inside. You could use those anytime, lots of caffeine. 114, 114. All right back here. And the next one is going to go to 256, 256. Okay, great job. Next we have our Trader Joe's gift bag. They always do a great job when they put these gift bags together. Tell them thank you, please. This is from the Los Altos Trader Joe's. 015, 015. Who's winning the gift bag? All right. And last, we have a Visa card for $100. And you can actually win if you join the Twitter chat. We give out 4 $100 gift cards for those who participate in the Twitter chat. So you may want to join that. Every month. Every month we give out. So last year we gave out almost 40, I believe. So this winner is going to be 246. 246. Who's 246? Please stand so we can give you a card. Excellent. Excellent job. Again, thank you, everybody, for a great job. Thank you. Have a great year.